Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armoured Warfare. Today we're in the Tier 8 T-90 main battle tank, a Russian main battle tank of course, and let's just say we are definitely top of the food chain in this matchup. There are 3 Tier 8s on each team, 1 Warrior, 1 T-90 on my team, 1 T-90 on their team, an Ariete, which is another good MBT, Italian MBT, and also 2 Paladins on each team. Those horrible artillery pieces, which can hit you for extreme amount of damage, especially if you are relatively lightly armoured like that Bradley though. Although the Bradley is quite a well armed and armoured AFV. But back to the T-90. Top of the chain in terms of the main line of Soviet/Russian MBTs, of course there is the T-90 MS, but you have to unlock that via the token system. Of course you do get a token at the end of the T-90's research tree, but T-90, it's not the fastest tank in the world. That goes to the AFVs, but obviously the Leopard series of MBTs is faster. Frontal armor of this thing is incredible in terms of its upper plate, its frontal turret armor, but like many Soviet tanks in this game, the lower plate is not good at all. The gun on this thing is pretty special. Just see the tiniest smidgen of the lower plate of that T-80 there. 675 damage of the AP shells. And T-80 does not have good turret armor against this gun. You can use the turret against lower tiers, but when you're in a T-80 versus a T-90, the T-90 is going to penetrate your turret most of the time, especially with the fully upgraded rounds. I don't know exactly how much penetration they have, but it is phenomenally good. Aim time without retrofits is quite poor, but I do have retrofits that improve the damage and the aim time of the gun. And what? What just happened there? I thought I fired at the turret, but obviously maybe it penetrated his upper deck armor, but I would have assumed that was a overpen. Anyway, opposing T-90 has been tracked. His lower plate, like mine, is not very good, especially against this gun. I will have the stats on the screen to remind you of the penetration and remind myself of the penetration. You also get heat rounds, you get high explosive frag rounds, which are very good. Soviet frag rounds are very nice. And yep, that's another 600 damage. This gun, every time you pull the trigger really, it does anywhere between 500 to 600 damage. Pretty easy. 730 there with the AP. The heat shelves are even better in terms of their raw damage output. And the rate of fire, as you can see, is not bad at all. Of course, this is not a stock T-90, it's fully upgraded. And, you know, I should have shot the turret there because gun depression, not very good. Aim time, not very good with its stock configuration, as I said, but with the retrofit I put on, it improves it to 2.44 seconds as opposed to 2.65. But the gun is very good. It is incredibly good. Although it does get damaged quite easily from high explosive rounds. And if you're fighting in Tier 9 matchups, your tank is not very good compared to those Tier 9s. Tier 9 matchmaking is quite unbalanced. It does need significant rework, but I think that is in the developers' interests before they add the Tier 10s. Soviet gun elevation, mediocre at best really. And I did say the gun depression is mediocre, I think it's -6. The gun depression on the T-80, the previous tank, is actually -10 degrees I believe, which is a bizarre break in Soviet doctrine. Oh, and I can't see it. Can we take him? Yes, we can. We've been hit by a lot of HE, however. Significantly, that Paladin has hit us for 400 odd. But, you know, I fired 10 shots, up to 5,500 damage done. And this thing just keeps rolling. We've lost half our health, but we've only had light damage considering the amount of HE that's been fired at us. Or rather, the caliber of HE that's been fired at us. 155mm HE from the Paladin. And the Akatsuya, I believe, has 122mm. But we still got half our hit points, as I said. Only light track damage. Kind of worried about that Centauro, or Centauro, however you want to say it. If there's any Italians in the comments, you can tell me if I'm saying it right. But I'm not too worried about him until right now. When I'm spotted, I know it's him. He nails me in the side. He just pulls back before that shot connects with his turret. We realign ourselves, and Warrior takes him out from not too far away. But the Warrior, while he was focusing on the Centauro, gets taken down by the T-72A. But T-72A versus T-90... Oh, this gun is very nice indeed. If you want raw damage and penetration, you can go with this gun, really. If you want slightly better aim time and accuracy, and in the case of the Ariete, good penetration, go with Western style MBTs. The Ariete is a interesting vehicle compared to the Challenger 2. When you get the Challenger 2, you feel a bit underwhelmed compared with its gun penetration. But we'll talk about that when I do a Challenger 2 video. 3 enemies left now. We did get hit by HE for 500 almost. Those paladins are pretty brutal. And yep, if you over angle in this vehicle, you're going to get penned in the side and rear, much like many MBTs. So you're going to have to be careful of that. But if you hide your lower plate, hide the driver's hatch as much as possible, I believe, then you should be fine. Your upper plate is nigh on impenetrable from HE and AP rounds. Mobility is decent enough, it's not the fastest in the world, but it is still very good. And doing 12 hits there with AP shells, we didn't fire any of our other ammunition, including high explosive anti-tank and shape charge rocket ammunition, as well as the what are they called? The high explosive rockets as well, or ATGMs rather is the proper name. But a victory, a very quick game, and a very brutal game for those on the enemy team. T90 in a top 2 matchup is very nice indeed. But like I said, the T90 MS and things like that just butter you, really. You have no hope, especially if they can see your lower plate. If you can side and rear them though, it is still feasible. 12,000 reputation, 270,000 credits, premium account, 6,720 damage, doubled in team, base experience of 3,400, just what more can I say really? Top of the line, T90 does well. Tier 9 games could do better, but it is harder to do as well as if you're top tier. We hit 16 shells, 15 of those hit, not all of them penetrated. So yeah. So that was the T90. Tell me your thoughts. Do you have a T90? Are you working towards the T90? Have you fought against them? Do you think I've highlighted its main strengths? Or are there other things that you would think is good about the vehicle? As well as the bad things. I am interested to hear your thoughts. And as always, I've been Geogen, this has been Armoured Warfare, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.